Brandon, the Los Angeles Dodgers finally have a home run derby champion. Let's go.
Did it, baby. The drought is
We
over.
did it, Joe. We did it, Joe.
Oh, dude, dodged it. Hey.
Teoscar Hernandez just won the 2024 home run derby against that fraud Bobby Witt, and I couldn't be more excited about it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
But it's funny. I was recording a video, and in the video, I was just like, I'm fucking fading Bobby Witt. Fuck Bobby Witt. I was so fired up.
it's the
I was,
little Bobby Witt hate kept
yeah,
that last dinger inside the park from my king of Crespi, Jesse Rowe.
yeah.
Greatest host in pod history, dude. My guy.
That's what they're
You know,
saying.
in the streets of LA with producing content with over a decade now.
Yeah.
Jesse, how you feeling? You look good. You got a home run derby trophy in your case now.
I was so excited, and I was really fired up when Bobby Witt was like struggling in that final round, and I was just like getting all excited. And then he hit that final homer. He was going on a little bit of a hot streak at the end. They get into that final, that 3-out round, that new format that the MLB did this year. And he hits one to center field, like or left center or whatever it was, like one of the deeper parts of that stadium, which is like we know from 2020 when the Dodgers won the World Series, we know a lot about that stadium. It was a tough state, huh?
Cavernous.
Yeah, just tough to get the ball out in certain parts of that park. And it hits like 3/4 up of the way of the wall. And I was so pumped up. I mean, it's like for something that's super inconsequential, I think that we needed a W, bro. The Dodgers had just blown 2-3 from the Tigers, and I was like, I needed a Dodger win. I'm not gonna lie. And that sounds pretty bratty and spoiled when considering we're 7 games up, but still, I was pretty excited.
Yeah, I got to tell you. I mean, I guess we can just go into it. I had a whole segment lined up about the Dodgers being cursed. I was going to go through the list of all the injuries, and just those, God, 5-run lead blown in the ninth. I think it was like a 3-run lead the other game, or maybe it was a 2. I don't know. It just brutal losses to the Tigers. Get swept by the Phillies. You lose a series to the Giants. It's just nasty. Or maybe they didn't lose a series to the Giants. I think they did. I think they won the middle game, but lost the book.
To be honest, I'll be honest about that game where we blew the 5-run lead. I had turned off the game, assuming we were going to win. I went on to do other things. And then I saw we blew it, and I was so upset that I didn't actually look to see how we did it. So I still don't actually know how it happened. I was just like so annoyed that it did happen that I was like, I'm not even going to bother informing myself on this just because I knew what was going on. I was like, this team needs a break. They need to get to the All-Star break. And I'm not even going to like look deeply into this and try to like analyze what went wrong. I think we all know what went wrong. I think this team is just like gutted with injuries and they're just tired.
That this team feels like, when you're watching a war movie and it's like, dude, they just got to get back to base and get some chow, they get some rest. They're blown to shit. And
stretched thin.
Very much so. But if anything, it does create the opportunity for some cinema in the old trade market. But before we get to that, All-Star game tomorrow, as of recording, tomorrow afternoon or evening. You excited for it? How you feeling? Does the Derby got you all pumped up? You got lead in your pencil?
I do. I have a little lead in my pencil. I mean, I think
sounds like it. It sounds like you got a little lead in your pencil.
I'll be honest. Dodgers have historically not performed well in the home run derby. I think Jock is the last one that made the finals and lost.
Well, I think that's the one that
Todd Frazier won, right?
Yeah, but I think that's the one that he went on a big slump after that, and everybody's like, go to the Derby. It's gonna fuck up your swing, and you're gonna be dog shit. I think Muncy did it one year as well.
Seager did it one year.
Yeah, Siegs did it. I think maybe his rookie year.
Kemp did it a couple of times. I will say about it, like, it was kind of a weird derby because nobody really had like a singular epic performance. It was very much like everybody. It was very like Alec Boehm was like one swing away to making the final. Let's put it that way. The guy with 11 home runs who has no business being in the home run derby. I love Alec Boehm. He's an awesome player. He had no business being there. He's a contact hitter. He's a line drive guy. But he was one swing away. So it was a weird home run derby, but it had a great ending. So yes, it did juice me up. I am excited about the All-Star game. I know that we have a little segment planned here, but I think if I'm excited about one thing, is that the Dodgers faked an injury with Tyler Glass now so that he didn't have to pitch in the game. I am very happy about that. I didn't want to see any of our pitchers in the game. Like whatever, Shohei and Freddie and Mookie, or Mookie's not playing, but Shohei and Freddie, that's fine.
I mean, just touching back on my Dodgers curse thing, just a couple of weeks back, I'm thinking, Yamamoto in my fantasy dreams is starting the All-Star game and is cementing his case for the first half of Rookie of the Year, maybe even in the Cy Young talk. Instead, he gets placed on the 60-day IL. And you know what my prediction is, Jesse?
What?
You heard the first, Deferred Collusion. I think they're going to shut him down for the rest of the year. I think we've seen Yoshi pitch for the last time this season. They got a huge investment on it, and they ain't going to push that arm too hard when they haven't really broken in that engine yet. If you catch my drift.
Well, that leads into trade talks, which we'll get into. But yeah,
yes,
you might be right. Apparently the earliest he can come back is like mid-August.
Yeah. Dustin May out for the season, torn esophagus. I don't know how you do that. Sounds gnarly.
I think he was eating too many Zins, bro. I think that dude was fucking just choking those Zins down. How do you tear your esophagus, bro? What? Poor guy. Poor Dustin May. The guy is two-time Tommy John. He's blown out his arm a couple of times. He's working his way back, and he's out to dinner the other night, and he started feeling like a pain in his chest. Goes to the doctor. The doctor tells him he has a torn esophagus, and they're going to shut him down. What's going on? Like, how does that's crazy.
Poor dude, our pets' heads are falling off. That's the way to describe it. Dodgers Twitter really lighting up May, calling him made of glass. I don't dig that.
Is that what they're saying?
That was one that stuck out to me, but it's a bummer. Emmett Sheehan, another guy a few weeks back, was officially shut down for the season. Other
Gonsolin,
guys.
Tommy John.
Gonsolin, I think I don't even know if he was slated to be back this year.
No, he was out. Tommy John, he's out.
Bruzdar has been out pretty much all year.
That's a weird one. Why is he not back yet?
Yeah, it's scary, right? When you don't hear anything, it's just like kind of getting a little late in the year now.
The Dodgers have some of the best, or the perceived best, strength and conditioning program coaches in the world in baseball. Do you think there's something going on here with because I was talking to my buddy Shane about this, and he thinks that that something's wrong with the way that the Dodgers are doing it. Like, are they almost like too smart, where they're like not doing it the right way because they're so experimental? Like, something's wrong. Why is everybody hurt? Like, literally fucking everybody is hurt.
It is crazy. I do think that there is an age thing to it. I think there's a lot of miles on the Dodgers' arms, up and down that lineup, bullpen to starters. Not the youngest collection of guys.
But it's a lot of young guys are hurt. Miller is hurt, shoulder.
Dodgers have been lauded, right, for years for not just reclamation pieces in terms of established players, but in lower draft picks, higher risk guys. Walker Buehler being an example.
Yeah.
A guy coming straight out of college with a TJ.
That's a weird situation, by the way. Go ahead, keep talking. I want to bring something up about that.
Yeah, and just while we're at it, we were hoping, high hopes for Walker. He's out again with a hip injury, is what I believe they called it. But let's be honest, he was stinking up the joint anyways. Yeah, and it's not been the year Dodgers fans were hoping with this big $1 billion investment. Glass now has been great. He has been touched up his last couple starts. And then you've seen him go down with injury. You just go, great. The season's terrible.
And back tightness. That back tightness to me always is a little like, okay. What does that mean?
Definitely. But then that leads right into Muncy, right? And him not healing up the way we've expected. And
that one has really hurt the Dodgers.
Third base has just been a black hole, leading me just to believe that there has to be dramatic infield help to come. Gavin Lux has been just abysmal at second. I think the clock's kind of run out. I know you've been banging that drum for a while, but I think what ultimately happens is the Dodgers make a trade for a middle infielder, move Mookie over to second, move Mookie to second, and bump Miguel Rojas to third, because I'm not sure we're going to be seeing Muncy in the summer, maybe end of August, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Times are tough.
So I will say one thing with the concerning Lux and the Dodgers infield. The one surprising storyline that not a lot of people are talking about right now is probably like the worst storyline of like the first half of the year. All of a sudden is becoming like, oh, actually things are changing. It's been Chris Taylor. He actually has been playing much better, and it just doesn't look that way. But I think over like the past month, he has like something like an 830 OPS or something like a 900 OPS. Like he has totally turned his season around. It just doesn't show in the stats because his stats were so bad. Like they were so abysmally bad that they still look terrible, but he's actually producing at like a normal Chris Taylor 2022 kind of level. So over the past month. That's a very good sign that gives Dodgers like a little bit of flexibility in their options, which is important because it gives them like, hey, do we need to address third base? Do we need to address shortstop? Do we need to address left field? Like, what do we have to do? The fact that Taylor has kind of figured things out a little bit gives them some flexibility in that decision making. And I think you're right. I think it comes down to Lux because I like Miguel Vargas a lot, and he's actually been pretty solid swinging the bat. Yeah. You can't put him really anywhere. His defense is bad. And James Outman came back up, who was raking in AAA, and he struck out like 8 of his 14 at bats since he's returned. Like he's a 4A player. It kind of looks like right now, and that's
time to figure it out again.
So. Who do you think? So I want to get back to the All-Star game, but first, before we sort of move on, what do you think is the move that the Dodgers are most likely to make at this point?
Well, there's a lot of smoke about Garrett Crochet. I don't see it. I think the capital's too high. I don't think it fits the Friedman model. And we were talking about this before we started recording, but you noted Crochet's last start, he was dealing, but only pitched 2 innings.
Yeah,
and the White Sox
28 pitches.
No, he'll be back. It's no big deal. It's just a little wink. No,
managing his innings, quote unquote. And it's like, yeah, we all knew that he had never pitched this amount of innings before, but like 2 innings. With the start before the All-Star break, that feels like he's
a little better to make it not look so collusion-y.
Yeah. No, he's gone.
Yeah, no, he's gone. But my point being, I don't think the Dodgers are going to go that high. But a guy that I do think they target, a guy you could see starting maybe a number 2 playoff game, in a series, Jack Flaherty over the Detroit Tigers. Is having a great season. Kind of fits the mold of what the Dodgers like. Kind of got a little heat. He's kind of figured it out over there in the Motor City.
He's having a very good year.
Yeah, and he's not going to cost what a Crochet would cost. Another guy I really like, just to kind of keep this segment brief, that I think the Dodgers are going to target, which was a target of their trade a couple of years ago, that Artie Moreno nixed, but that's for Luis Rengifo. And he's having a stellar year, and it's going to cost a lot. But I think that the Dodgers do make that trade. And like I was saying, I think they put him in at short. move Mookie over to second, and Miguel Rojas will hold down third. Now that lineup seems pretty deep again. If you're looking to
I could
up that bottom of the lineup, you know what I mean?
Rengifo's been solid. I could also see the Dodgers trying to bring in Tyler Anderson again. I know he's on like a 3-year deal with the Angels, but I could see them trying to revisit that. They had a very good relationship with him. He obviously pitched very well. He was just fucking starting like meaningful playoff games for the Dodgers back in 2022, like very good, meaningful playoff games. So I could see him being an asset in the Dodgers' eyes. Flaherty, you mentioned him, 3.13 ERA, sub 1 WHIP, 120 Ks in 95 innings, having a career resurgence. That's definitely a move I could see them doing. Problem is, I could see other teams in on him too, and I could see the price tag going up, and I'm just wondering if that price tag went up and the Dodgers would have to include one of their upper mid-level prospects. Would they not be willing to go in with the White Sox, who have been scouting the Dodgers farm system reportedly, on a deal for like on a Robert Crochet package, only because the Dodgers have done that before. And Friedman's very good at finding ways of making those deals without giving up the highest possible value. I mean, we talked a little bit about the Nationals and the Padres in the last episode about how the Dodgers might have gotten the better end of those deals with the Nationals, and the Padres did, meaning that they gave up perceived better prospects than they actually were simply because they were Dodger prospects.
Mm.
Dodgers just signed Will Smith to a 14-year extension. Do you see Dalton Rushing being thrown into one of those deals? I do. I think it's a possibility the Dodgers will do that. And if they are willing to do that, I think that you could potentially see a package deal for Crochet and Robert. It's possible, but I it's unlikely. I would probably agree with that, but I think it's possible simply because Dodger prospects are oftentimes ranked a little higher than most prospects. So, yeah. Either way, fingers crossed that they can figure it out. I hope that you're wrong about Yamamoto. You might be right, but it's not good that they moved him back already. Kershaw is coming back, so we'll see what we get from him.
Fingers crossed. I did want to say, Curse may be broken. Maybe we're starting to see the little light at the end of the tunnel. With the Teo winning of the home run derby, bringing the first one to LA. Who knows? It's yet to be seen. But hey, Dodgers fans, it's like, going into the All-Star break, it was like, hey, school's out for summer. Oh fuck! Just found out I got summer school. I'm embarrassed. Look at our team. Look how cool we are.
Look, I'm going to say this about the Dodgers. They've been playing really bad. They blew that series against the Tigers. But nobody's blown it more than the Padres, man. The Dodgers are 19-19 since the start of June. They're a 500 baseball team, and they have gained half a game on the Padres in that time.
Yikes, Papas. That I did not expect that. I did not. So we're going to have only maybe lost a game to the Padres.
There's a silver lining here for the Dodgers. I think that the Diamondbacks have gained like a few games, but the Padres have only gained a half a game. And that's just a colossal failure, in my opinion. They've been 19-20 since the start of June, and that's just no bueno. You had an opportunity to really jump on the Dodgers, and now they're going to make moves. It's not good.
So what do we think that is? What are we calling San Diego, like, officially? And this, I'm not. I want us to take our Dodger fandom hat. This has nothing to do with it. Seriously, what has happened in San Diego? They've signed some electric players, such an exciting team for years now, and they've just not gotten it done. I know got close a couple years ago, trying to get into the World Series against the Phillies, came up short, but nothing's really ever felt like it's ever clicked all the way, right?
I think it's cultural. Their owner was dying, and they went all in. He gave the green light to Preller to really make some big deals, to go out and get Soto and all that. And then you pay the price for it because it really thins out your farm system. And I think that what they have is a situation where they don't have a true leader on the team. And it sounds kind of cliche. It sounds a little lame in the analytical, sabermetric era of baseball. But I think it's true. I think that stuff's important. I don't think that they have a lot of guys that are kind of the same, like Tatis, Machado, Profar. They got guys that are all kind of the same. And nobody really stands out as like a leader. I think that they're just kind of, it's a lot of talent with no chemistry. And, I could be wrong. They could go on a fucking run and overcome the Dodgers, but this has been the same story every year. They beat the Dodgers one year, but it's like that same season, this same shit was happening. So it's like they just got hot at the right time. We'll see. But I think that they've blown it. They had a big opportunity to come back. For the All-Star game, it is exciting because, Paul Skeens will be starting, and we're going to talk about that. I have a take on the starter of the American League. I want to talk about that. But first, we have to talk about something that was a little heartbreaking to watch. I feel a little bad, but it's probably the worst the worst national anthem I've ever heard in my entire life from a professional singer. I don't know if there is a better one or a worse one out there. I know that Fergie doing the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game, is like a historic one. It's a meme-worthy one. That wasn't like bad. It was just absurd, right?
No, it was bad. No, it was bad.
No, I'm saying Fergie wasn't like off key. She was just absurd.
I beg to differ, my papas.
Yeah, but this was different, man. This was like something was wrong with this girl's earpiece or something.
If I may, it was as terrible as the Fergie one, but I believe it's more of its time. It's very 2024, just like Fergie's was very whatever, early
2019 or whatever it was, yeah.
Maybe like 2010s, I don't know, teens. Anyways, yeah, it had all the hallmarks of like funny, like breathy, like indie girl kind of singing. But it just, yeah, like you said, it sounded like maybe her earpiece was out. I don't know, maybe she was sick or something's wrong with her right now. She can't sing and project. But all together, the sum of its parts, it came together as an all-time meme, horrible rendition of the national anthem, and I just couldn't enjoy it anymore.
Her name is Ingrid Andress. I got to be honest, the biggest problem for her is that I had never heard of her before, and this is the way that she's being introduced to me. And I feel like I'm pretty up with music. The fact that like this is her introduction to me is not good for her. That sucks. I'm hoping that she can turn this sort of like into a, like she can sort of use this a little bit. I'm hoping that she can see some silver lining here. She's having a bad night, though. I guarantee you right now. She's having a bad day. And her Wikipedia, you put this in the notes of our episode notes. Her Wikipedia has been updated to say she is, quote, also known for butchering the national anthem before the 2024 MLB All-Star Game Home Run Derby. That's tough, man. I mean, that's what is on your official Wikipedia. It's pretty bad. And I got to say, I'm not joking when I say this. I feel like I could have done a better job. Like if I were to do it, I have a bad singing voice. If I were to just stay on key, I feel like I would have been better.
It's a big if, dude.
Should I do it? Should I do the national anthem right now? Let's see if I could do a better one.
I'm gonna boo you.
Yeah, no. It's rough. It was rough to watch. My favorite. I love that they were like panning to the players as she was doing it. And Alec Bohm at one point was like kind of like looking around, like, is anybody hearing this?
Fucking Ingrid Andress, dude. I feel terrible for you.
Yeah.
And I don't say that like with like pity looking down on you. I'm just saying that like it was a tough day at the office. You know what? You dust yourself off and you remember you're Ingrid fucking Andress, dude. You just sang the national anthem at the home run derby.
I listened to her popular song. I forget what it's called, but I listened to it. And she's got a nice voice. I think that she just had a bad night.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at your notes again. I didn't see this before. ESPN pulled the video of the anthem from their YouTube page.
Yeah. So I was showing my wife the video.
Yeah.
Getting towards the end and it stopped playing. And I was like, no way. I took a picture. I'll send it to you. This ain't no cap. This is all
Okay.
fact. But yeah, I'll send it to you. There was like actual like freeze in it. And then yeah, I tried to play it again. I was like, no way. They took it down.
Was it ESPN or was it like MLB on
That was
ESPN?
It was the actual ESPN YouTube
Man.
channel. They pulled it down. I guess she was already just bubbling over with negative comments. And you know,
Oh, dude, it's bad. I mean, I'm looking at it like you can't see her video on any like main page. It's like it's all like commentary pages.
it
That's
all just was like hate from California, hate from
yeah.
Georgia, hate from whatever.
Poor girl. Hey, you know what? Bounce back, Ingrid.
She'll be back.
Oh, say, can you see
Look
by
at
the dawn's early light that
that.
so proudly we hail? I could have done it. All right.
Jazz.
Trump 2024. No. All right. Hey, you were ahead of your time, Brandon. You made a slick little prediction on a previous episode that a certain boyfriend of Livy Dunn would be starting the National League for the National League at the All-Star game, and
Over a month ago.
I didn't think that was the case, but you're right. Paul Skeens is the starter for the National League. I got to give you a little bit of kudos there. Well done. That was well done.
Oh.
So I do feel like Glasnow might have been the starter if he wasn't injured. I think that there was a chance for that, but
yeah, he had
probably would have been Skeens.
He had a couple of bummy starts.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think if he would have had two more good starts, I think Glasnow makes a case for it, but he didn't. He bummed
I think
it
was the right call simply because it's the thing that's going to bring in the most eyeballs.
Yeah.
It was the right thing to do.
I want to see it anyways. I'm all about it. Skiing City, baby.
Yeah, it's dope. And I have a little take on the starter for the American League before we get into our all-star snubs. Is that Corbin Burnes is starting for the American League, and I actually think that. Look, obviously Corbin Burnes is great. He's a Cy Young winner. He's awesome. He's on the best team in the American League, probably, or one of the best teams in the American League. But I feel like that there was a clearer choice. I feel like Tarek Skubal deserved to be the starter. Statistically, I think he's the best pitcher in the American League right now. And I went to Baseball Reference. I did the comparisons, and I have lost the page. No, here it is. Skubal and Burnes years so far. WAR, Skubal has a 4.5 WAR. Burnes has a 2.9. Games started,
Wow.
They have the same. Innings pitched, Burnes has them by 2 innings over the same amount of starts. Win-loss, Skubal's better. He's 10-3. Burnes is 9-4. ERA, Tarek is better, 2.41. Burnes is 2.43. ERA plus, Skubal's way better, 173 to 154. Strikeouts, Skubal's way better, 140 to 110. K percentage, Skubal's way better, 31 to 23. Walks, Skubal's better. He's thrown 21. Burnes has thrown 25. Walk percentage, Skubal's better. He has 4.6. Burnes is 5.3. I think that they fucked up.
Is that an oversight, or do you think there's a little political game going there?
I think it's that they didn't want a player on the Tigers to start the game. I think that they wanted a player from the best team to start the game, but I don't think he was deserving. And I love Corbin Burnes, but I just don't think he was. I think he's literally almost got 2 more wins above replacement.
Yeah, I saw Screwball against the
That's
Dodgers.
A lot.
Dude is legit. He is nasty. I don't obviously catch a lot of them. I ain't catching a lot of Tigers games over here in the Bay Area, South Bay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just kind of looking at the numbies. It kind of feels like a little gamesmanship, maybe a little bit of like a nod to like, hey, we're giving the ace, the captain of the whatever, the best team, like you said, the spotlight.
Yeah. I guess that's fine. Like Kershaw, I think he started for the Dodgers the year that or for the National League the year that it was in LA. He probably didn't deserve to be the All-Star starter. It was like sort of a nod. But like this one's being played in Texas. So it's kind of a neutral site for both teams. I don't know. I just felt like this was Corbin Burns we know who he is. I felt like this was an opportunity to like say, hey, this dude is the best pitcher in the American League right now. It's Tariq Skubal. And I thought that was the case. I mean, even the whip, bro, like Burns's whip is 1.05. Skubal's is sub 0.9. Like, he's unreal. His numbers have been unreal. And I know that, like, you could also say, okay, well, what about Mason Miller? Like, he could too. Like, no, we're talking about starting pitchers. So, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I thought that they fucked that up.
Yeah, I would like to see. I mean, because I honestly, Screwball is been in the league 2 years or just 1 year now.
He's in his like 5th year right now. Yeah, but he had surgery, so he was out for like a year.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, it's like they're two young talents that you kind of like want to see lined up together. I don't know.
He'll be the second pitcher. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but there are some
in the All-Star game.
It's a good question. I have the list right here of the rosters. I think it's hilarious that Tyler Anderson made it for the Angels.
Pretty cool.
Pretty fun. Yeah, I like that. I'm excited to see. Let me look at the roster here a little bit. I'm happy for Alec Boehm. He's starting at third base.
A lot of Phillies representation.
Yeah, Dodgers too.
I think there's 8.
You know what? Ellie De La Cruz, that'll be cool to see. I hope that they get him in the game, at like a key point, like when they,
get a
little electricity for the National League. That will be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ellie De La Cruz will be fun. And I'd also, I'm happy for, I think Bobby Witt Jr. is probably like the easiest answer.
I'm so in love with him, man. He's such a player. Like just seeing him perform so well at the Derby too is just so fun. I wanted to ask you too. This is a little off topic, but I just brought it back in with Bobby Witt in the Derby. Guys that are affecting their money from this All-Star game. Jurickson Profar makes his first All-Star game in his 10th season. That's pretty cool. He got, I think, a $1 million contract from the Padres. Everybody else passed up on him. He's definitely going to get a bigger chunk of change. I don't know if he gets a multi-year deal out of it. I could see him maybe get a 2-year, $5 million deal out of it, but not bad for a guy who looked like he might have been on his way out of the league. My boy Teoscar Hernandez, he's looking for a forever home, and he's really endearing himself with Dodger fans. He's got some crazy stats about RBIs after the 8th inning or 7th or 8th inning too, like leading the league. It's something crazy.
If you look at the comment section of the Dodgers social media post for Teo winning the home run derby, it was just extend Teo, extend him, give that man an extension, all that stuff. Dodger fans love him right now. And I think that he didn't make like a big gamble because he got to play for the Dodgers. He got a lot of money for a 1-year deal, but I think it was a gamble in terms of like how many years he was taking for job security. I think that he's insuring himself like a 4-year deal in the offseason. I think it really paid off. And now he won the home run derby. I think that he's in awesome shape to get a good contract in the offseason. He's in great shape for it. Yeah, I think those are my guys that I'd want to see. Jarren Duran, that's actually one that's really interesting because he has had an awesome year. I think that he's been one of like the most productive players in terms of WAR out of all major league outfielders, which is really surprising, but he's been awesome. He's really revitalized the Red Sox this year. So I think that's one that's really exciting. He's the only guy to steal home this season. So he's very, very exciting player. Yeah.
What's that?
He stole home when there was when the other team, I forget who was playing, they were doing a review throw to first. So they were throwing it to first to see if somebody left the bag early. And when they did that, Duran stole home. It was dope. It was really cool.
Sandlot made me think that I'd be seeing just fucking suicide steals all the time. Benny the Jet Rodriguez, baby.
So let's end on sort of a bad note or a negative note. Who do you think are the biggest All-Star game busts of this season? I know that there's one obvious one.
I mean, you can just say it then. I think we're thinking of the same one. Like I almost wanted to say it at the same time. It's like one,
Okay.
two.
Christian Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how can it not be that guy, the guy who's got the keys to Dodger Stadium because he fucking owns the place.
I know we have a whole segment planned for him in future episodes about players that terrorize your team. I mean, he's literally terrorized the Dodgers here. But I want to do this because I actually sent this to you. So while we're at it, let's do it because Pete Alonso actually got the nod for instead of Christian Walker. So let's just do this while we're here because this is actually absurd. What happened here? Pete Alonso.
Give me those
All right.
numbers. And Pete, we love Polar Pete, dude. We're hoping you find a nice home in the next couple weeks here. I don't think he'll be a Met for long, but let me hear those numbers, dude.
Yeah, listen to this. Just listen to this. I mean, it's kind of absurd that this even happened here. So on Baseball Reference, if you compare the numbers of Christian Walker and Pete Alonso, Christian Walker has over twice the amount of WAR. He's played 2 more games. He has more plate appearances. He has 10 more hits. He has 3 more homers. He has 15 more RBIs. He is hitting 24 points higher in batting average, 24 points higher in on base. He has 40 points more in slug. He has 55 points more in OPS. He has 15 points more in OPS plus. And Pete Alonso made the All-Star team and Christian Walker did not.
Does he also have a full head of hair?
That's the problem for Christian Walker. I think that this is like
it's a problem for a lot of men, and with just keeps or whatever. I know free ads. I'm just fucking kidding.
It's happening to me, bro. I'm starting to get it, man.
Happens to all of us, dude.
You got a good head of hair on you, bro. You got that fucking Latino heat, bro. You're good.
This old Chicano hair, dude.
Do you rub olive oil in that thing or what?
Oh, dude, is that my boy El Toro?
Oh shit!
Oh,
yeah,
just rookies to start the All-Star game. Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens he's the white Fernando Valenzuela. That's what everybody's saying.
Or the white Hideo Nomo, also
right.
start the All-Star game.
But for real, this one just feels like the Mets needed a representative. But didn't Francisco Lindor make the team? Like I feel like Pete Alonso. That's some bullshit. This is, you know what this is? This is a big black eye on Diamondbacks fans. Like you fucked up. Like you should have gotten this guy to the All-Star game. How did Mets fans outvote you on Pete Alonso? You guys fucked up.
It is insane.
Yeah, because he's like not just a better player. I'm talking about like twice the player Pete Alonso is right now. So whatever.
Isn't there talk about they're maybe trying to pull the Diamondbacks out of Arizona over stadium stuff? Is there?
Well, they just lost their hockey team.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it the same ownership?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Let's find out. Diamondbacks owner Ken Kendrick. Oh, he looks like an asshole.
Oh God.
All right, Arizona. Hold on, Arizona Coyotes owner. No, 2 different guys.
Well, God damn it. Well, neither one of them deserve Christian Walker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's a bummer. When you lay out the stats like that, it's appalling, and it's do you think it would make you feel any better if Pete Alonso had won the Derby? Do you think it would have stung less if he was an All-Star now?
Maybe, but it actually just made me more mad the fact that he was so garbage in the Derby this year. It just pissed me off even more. And I like Pete Alonso, but like he was so ass tonight, and like he's obviously a Derby legend. Like he's one of the best Derby competitors of all time. He's won 2. Is that what? Or 3?
No,
he won 2. I know he won 2 for sure.
I think this would have been 3, and I think that would have tied him. Right?
He's one of like the best Derby competitors ever. So like I can say this and it's okay. He was ass tonight. It just made me more mad. I just felt bad for Christian Walker because I feel like we know him because we play against him. The fact that the guy just made the World Series last year and he's having this kind of a year and he still didn't make it. Shame on you, Diamondback fans. That's bad.
I think that's big baseball throwing its weight around, stuffing these little guys, these small market teams in the dumpster. So big market boys like Polar Bear Pete can get knocked out in the first round of the goddamn home run derby. Otherwise,
right.
I ain't coming if I ain't an all-star. I get it. And you know what? Good for you for having that poll, but it sucks for Joe Blows like me. We just want dingers fly out the stadium. That's it. It's July. I like seeing fireworks, baby.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's end here.
Hold on. Before we get out of here,
yeah,
I want you to give me one big trade you'd like to see that does not include our Los Angeles Dodgers.
Big trade. If I would like to see the Orioles. Like if the Dodgers don't get Crochet, I think that would be a good one that they have a lot of prospects that they could send to the White Sox. I don't know what the logistics of it would be, but I think the Orioles have to go for it a little bit. Because I the Yankees, I think that's easy to say that simply because they're the Yankees. I just don't see them doing it. But I think the Orioles should go after Garrett Crochet. I think that'd be a good one. Luis Robert in the Phillies does make some sense. If I'm being honest, that one does make a lot of sense.
Not what makes sense. What do you want to see, dude?
What do I want to see? You know what? I want to see the Cleveland Guardians make a big move. I know that they're not going to. But they've surpassed my expectations so much this year. They have Bybee just fucking being super solid ace for them. They're hitting more home runs because they have that wind tunnel effect in right field now.
Yes.
Guardians, go get yourself whatever you need. I don't know exactly what they need. Go get it. Go get it.
From the A's. Go get somebody that bops.
Yeah. I think that I wouldn't mind the A's. I think that the A's might trade Mason Miller. I think there's a chance it's going to happen, and it's going to be like a big deal. It might be like the most haul you ever see for a relief pitcher. So it'll be interesting. I think that maybe Baltimore actually makes a lot of sense for that too, because they don't have their closer for this year. That makes some sense. So
I could see a team.
Plus, Craig Kimbrell is their closer right now, dude. You cannot go into October with Craig Kimbrell. You just can't do it.
I could see an AL team making a trade, a sneaky little trade for a guy in orange and black by the name of Blake Snell. He's had a couple good starts. He can pitch in the playoffs, starting to get warmed up. He's on a now team-friendly contract. And I think you could see maybe a Yankees, maybe I would like to see a Baltimore Orioles go after him. I could also see maybe Houston Astros going for a guy like that. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense for the old Giants, who don't look like they'll be getting the playoffs this year, to get a little more depth in that farm system. I don't know. That's just one man's opinion.
Astros are definitely a team to watch because they are sneaking up on Seattle, and Seattle is in the doghouse for me right now.
Joking. We were talking about the Padres. My God, Seattle.
It's time for Seattle. You know what? No. I changed my answer. Seattle Mariners. You need to make a move. 100%. I think you just gave me the correct answer. It's Seattle. They have to make a big move. They have to get Luis Robert. Whoever the best bat on the market is, you have to get it. Because you have an insane pitching staff. Insane how good those pitchers are.
They need a guy like Gavin Lux out there just hitting dingers for them.
Yeah, dude. They should trade for Gavin Lux and send over Logan Gilbert. You know what I mean? No big deal. Just make it easy deal.
Yeah. I love it.
All right. Well, Brando, this was a fun one. Teoscar Hernandez is a home run derby champion. will forever live in infamy for Dodger fans, whether he extends or not. It was a beautiful night for the blue and white, and I just want to end in honor of our former president Donald Trump. I just want to end with the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early